Hola, ¿qué tal, mi gente? On this edition of our Bilingual Sound Sessions, I am super happy to welcome local heroes, Las Cafeteras. They're right here, right in front of me. It's very exciting because I've been a fan of theirs for quite a while now, a couple years, and they just released a new album too. It's called A Night in Nepantla. They're going to perform a couple songs in there, but just hold your horses. First of all, if this is your first time tuning in, thank you for pressing play. I'm Byron, the curator. I am the program director of Bilingual Sounds HD3. It's a public radio station here in Southern California, showcasing music from Latin America and from cultures around the world. You can stream us online worldwide at bilingualsounds.org. We also have a free Bilingual Sounds app. And as a public radio station, your viewership, your audience, you being the audience, it's very helpful to the station. So if you get the chance, please subscribe below, give it a like, and maybe leave a comment of your favorite cafetera song. So without further ado, I'm very happy to welcome Hector Flores and Denise. Carlos, there you go. Thanks for finishing.
Denise. Maybe I should just go by Denise.
Denise.
Yeah, Prince.
Right?
Denise.
Denise.
Yeah, I like it.
I like it too.
I like it.
¿Cómo están? Un gusto de tenerlos aquí.
Barrón.
You're good. Nos bañamos.
Yeah, you know.
You know?
Yeah,
Just
it
a couple
smelled very
key-
nice in the studio
Yeah,
today.
yeah. It's good to be in the valley. We don't come out here a lot, but I got mad love for the valley. Yeah, I got mad love. The Chuchas is out over here.
Yes.
You know, and so the bookstore is great, and so you know I don't come out here, and when I do, I always have a good time.
And you make it a point to perform some songs.
Oh yes. That's true. That's true.
You know, I love this new album, and I want to get into it. I want to get behind the scenes stuff, but I want to get to know you guys a little bit more. You know, I do see you every so often out in the real world, out in real life, but I don't feel like I don't get to know you guys. So I want to know.
I'm a Leo.
Oh, you're a Leo.
I'm a Leo.
Well,
He
you
is
did
very
it.
much
I'm a Leo.
What's
I'm a
that?
Leo, Byron. I just say it right now.
Hey, I go with the flow.
Yeah,
What is
yeah,
it?
yeah.
I'm a Scorpio.
Very much so.
Which I was telling people, like, either you're really scared or really excited.
Yeah. And sometimes you're both.
I know. The rumors are true about Scorpios.
Do
You?
guys- I'm a Aries.
What are Aries?
I'm an Aries.
You're Aries.
Headstrong leader. That's the only ones I take
That's
away.
the only
I
one.
know, right?
I'm not really
Yeah,
into
that's it.
astrology, but I'll take
you
those
know, I'm
things.
not. But one time, maybe I was in like my mid-20s. I was at a backyard kickback. I met a homegirl. Like we just, you know, we were talking 30 seconds, and she said, "Shh."
She could
You're
tell
Leo.
she read you.
Like literally, she
You're
just stopped.
literally
She stopped me and was like, "You're Leo."
You're the epitome
And
of
I-
Leo,
but
dude. You
I
kinda
never,
have, like,
I never really.
Lion-esque vibes.
I don't know if I truly believe everything, but I like it.
Yeah.
I like talking about it, and it's a good conversation
funny.
starter.
It's flattering, right?
It's nice.
Yeah. Ooh.
And I like to hear how people do you.
And then people are like, you are so.
Yeah, do you?
Leo.
Yeah. So Leo, do you connect with it? And I'm very playful with it. If people believe it, I love it. I
You're a
love
big
having
cat.
conversations.
When I say Scorpio, people are like, oh.
And I like people's reactions.
And I'm like, I know.
You know what I mean? All I know is I know nothing,
Right?
and so I like to have fun with it.
Well, talking about the stars, do you guys believe in aliens?
Oh, great! You know, my dad.
Has been abducted.
My dad.
For 5 years in your life.
And it
I
wasn't
know.
even till like later in life, but my dad was really did believe in aliens and talked about it. And even one time, I remember he's like, mijo, hay una conferencia, you know, in Mexico where like, it was an alien conference.
What?
And he wanted to go. And I was just like, Appa.
You're like, Dad, you're such a loser.
And then I didn't, again, the only thing I know is I know nothing.
Wow.
But I do know that we can't be the only
That's for real.
species out here. Like,
Hey, is a chupacabra an alien?
I don't think so. That was like scientifically made.
No.
I think. It
Is
might
it
be.
genetically modified?
you know
Yeah.
what? Who knows?
You might have had some tacos
You
of
for people
chupacabra.
said they see a chupacabra, it could have been.
Could've been.
It could have been.
You don't know what
You
happens out
know?
on the farm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine there's another cutie out there that looks like me somewhere in space. You know what I mean? Like there has
It's called
to
a
be.
chupacabra.
That's funny. Or your alter
Hey.
ego.
Oh yeah, right?
So you believe as well? Aliens.
Well, I was really into the X-Files when I was in high
So
school.
yes.
So yes.
Yeah.
I'm scared though. I'm scared.
I'm-
Okay, so I have like my dad's from Mexicali, and so when we used to go to the rancho, they had an outhouse, and we'd have to like it was a whole trip. Like, okay, we're going to the bathroom. Is everyone ready? and you just put on your dad's boots and get like the flashlight. You're like, tin, tin,
Oh,
tin.
yeah.
And it
I'm
was like
scared.
the
I'd be
sky was
scared.
so beautiful, but we're like, dude, there's probably aliens here.
There's aliens right here. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
would say
watching it.
yes,
Yeah.
but
what
have
they
I
look
said?
like?
I don't know. Again, I know nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Sometimes they could be this small too.
Yeah, yeah,
You never know.
yes. We don't know.
Yeah.
Or like
don't know.
not maybe not physical matter. Maybe it's just like
Yeah,
Yes.
another matter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. So yes, you're a believer.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
big time.
Yeah, I mean, it's like in this
But
world
like-
alone, like there's so many, even like in the continents, right? Like there's this span of water of nothing, but there's like a little island of a village of people, right? Like that's so crazy. That's kind of
like
like,
how did you land there?
yeah,
Right?
the universe, like even farther,
Yeah.
wider than
Very
that.
Neil
nice.
Tyson, was that homie's name? Degrassi?
Yeah, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah. Let's get this homeboy over here.
Let's have him do a
Let's
session.
yeah.
Right?
I always like his answers.
He can like do a open vocal, like a spoken word piece
Spoken
for
word.
the
Yeah.
cafeteras.
Which would be really nice if we kind of did like I always like the way Wu-Tang Clan as a rap group always incorporated elements and into their like rap game, and they talked about creation and all kinds of things, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
man. And they did there was an interview with Neil Tyson Degrassi where he talked about how much of like Wu-Tang's Clan's lyrics are actually accurate.
Oh, right. He does that a lot.
But either way, I would love to talk to him because I have a lot of questions. Because again, I know nothing.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
all
yeah.
I know.
But maybe you know this. What was an album that you really, really listened to a lot? I know that you probably came back from CDs. Like, what was an album that you like listened to so much it got scratches on it?
Oh, you want to go first?
Nine Inch Nails, Pretty Hate Machine.
Oh, very
Okay.
nice.
Yeah, it was a tape, and I had a Walkman, and I would just listen to it over and over and over. It just like, you know how it would do
Yeah.
click,
Yeah,
and then it just
yeah.
do side B. And I don't even know, like I can't even pinpoint the why, but it was a soundtrack to my like existence for a long time, and I just,
How old were you?
I think I was like, what is it, 13?
Who got you that? Did
12
your
or
sister buy
13?
it, or did you?
No, I went to Sam Goody myself.
Oh, nice.
And I
Nice.
got that, yeah.
Oh, Sam Goody.
For people who don't know, that
Sam
was a
Goody.
record store. That was a music store
Remember record stores?
that existed back then. Sam Goody, Tower Records.
Yep.
Hot
Hot Topic even had some
Hot
tone.
Where you would literally go in and buy albums.
And you'd sleep over and get a concert ticket.
Yeah, yeah.
And you had to
Right?
go to a physical Ticketmaster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was a one on Santa Monica that I used to go to
Uh-huh.
and buy tickets there.
What was your first concert?
Hey, that's one of my questions.
New Kids on the Block.
No.
I was 10. Yeah.
Would you know?
Oh,
So
that's
I
right.
had a Nina, my Nina was like the first, I don't know if she's considered herself Chicana because she was raised in Mexico, I think, until she was a teenager. But she was the first person I ever met that spoke English and Spanish because she was my mom's bestie.
Okay.
And she spoke English to us or like mixed it. And I was like, like, how is this adult speaking English? Because in our
Oh,
like
okay.
little circle, adults only spoke Spanish. But yeah, my Nina took her daughters and my sister and I to
Oh,
New
that's
Kids on
super
the
cool.
Block.
What was your first concert?
Of like Real Big Fish. It's a ska band.
Oh
yeah.
What's that one? That big song? What's
Take on Me. They did a really famous cover of that song. so,
órale.
yeah.
Have you heard Take on Aha, who are the people who wrote
Yeah.
Take on Me? They have an unplugged.
No.
They did an unplugged
They
show.
would do it on Unplugged.
And
Oh,
so
wow.
their version of Take on Me, unplugged, and they do a very soft, slow. I think it's only piano and guitar. Amazing.
Wow.
It's so
I gotta look it up.
So good. After this, go listen. Go listen. It's so good. I think we were on tour. Walked into a diner, and I was listening to this, and they're singing "Take on Me," but it was like this.
Different.
It was different. I'm like, where's my phone?
Yeah, where's
And
my
I to
Shazam?
Shazam, and I Shazammed it,
Shazam.
and it was. I found out it was like an unplugged version that
That
they
was
did
cool.
at an unplugged session, and it was that version is so good. Because when I was 18, my first concert was The Cure at the Greek.
Wow,
I was a big
the
Cure.
Greek.
I was a big
Oh,
Cure fan.
Interesting.
It was the Blood Flowers tour, which was
wow.
at that time was supposed to be their last tour.
They say that it's a marketing thing.
Yeah.
You should do a Las
at
Cafeteras
that
last
time-
tour.
I know, we should.
know,
Every year.
right?
Every year.
How old were you?
I was 18. I was 18. And
Your first concert was when you were 18.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I never went to like that was even then, like even after that I didn't
Oh my god.
Like go to a bunch of
Yeah.
that wasn't.
Did you know to buy your ticket in advance? Because when I went to my first concert, I didn't know.
showed up.
I showed up, it was sold out.
Oh no.
Luckily, somebody had an extra
Like a
ticket.
scout?
No, it was
No,
just
just
a
a
person
random?
because they saw me at the box office looking sad.
Oh.
And they're like, hey, I got an extra ticket. I'll give it to you face value.
No.
Oh my god, that's so
super.
nice.
That was at the Real Big.
At the House of Blues
To see Real Big Fish.
to see Real Big Fish
That's super cool.
Wow.
House of Blues,
in Sunset.
Sunset.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
went to like a lot of Tori Amos shows and.
But you had an older sister.
I had an older sister who
Oh,
like
okay.
my parents would make her take me to all these things.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I was the oldest.
I
So
did
I'm the
too.
oldest of 6.
Yeah.
And
So
like,
nobody taught you anything.
No, so
You
I
taught them.
Yeah, and a lot of stuff we just didn't do. Like I didn't never went to concerts. Like I remember going to that concert and I was like, oh my gosh. But even after that, I just didn't grow up in a concert culture or family or
how
my
ironic
friends
now.
didn't go.
Yeah, now he's part
yeah,
of the
yeah,
music
now,
industry.
yeah, it's a whole nother thing. I also have a lot of deaf family. So like on the side of my mom,
Oh,
like a
interesting.
lot of family is deaf. So like music, like, you know, there's people, rightly so, who like music is life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I hit my microphone.
Yeah.
They're like, music is life, right? Music is everything. I grew up with deaf family,
Oh,
you know? So
interesting.
like music didn't mean the same thing, you know? Like I love music and I love what music does to you. And there's always like a song. I'm always like, what's the next song that's gonna make me be like, oh.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, as music lovers, I think we're
Music,
always
right?
chasing
Like,
it.
yeah, right? But because I grew up with deaf family, music was never always like the ultimate.
main thing,
The
yeah.
main thing. And a lot of parties, they did or didn't have
So
music.
how did you get into like playing music? Like, did your parents introduce you to like a guitar or
You know,
singing?
I remember when they were like me and my brother, my mom, because my mom worked at the church, and so she always wanted us to be busy. So she put us in a guitar class, but it was like
Oh,
all
interesting.
Spanish, and we're like these little pocho kids with guitars with like you know, mayores, you know, like people who are like 50, 60.
You're like,
It was all in Spanish, and they're doing church songs.
Yeah, that's okay.
And I was like, oh, I hate that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to. I want to learn the guitar, but I don't want to church songs.
Not like this, yeah.
Not like this, you know. So I was like, ugh. And then when went into college, me and my brother took a guitar class at ELAC, and so we learned like basic songs. We learned how to do some chords. My brother got really good, but you know, never picked it up. And it wasn't until learning how to play son jarocho music, you know, at a community center, the Eastside
wow.
Cafe, where it's like this folk music where the chords were easy to learn, and with like 2 chords, you could sing like 10 traditional songs.
songs.
You add an F chord,
Ooh.
like with C and G,
Ooh.
you could sing like we could sing Guacamaya, you could sing
Pájaro
Chocolate,
Siquisiri.
Siquisiri. But you add another F chord and you could sing a whole nother 10 songs, sing, dance, play. So
Yeah.
it's like, with 3 chords, you can be introduced to this like folk tradition, dance, play,
Yeah.
sing. And it was like very accessible. And so that was, for me as someone who didn't grow up with music, it was like, oh, I can do this.
Oh, it's
you
simple.
know, it was simple. It's
very
dope,
punk rock
and it's
too.
like, and punk rock. How do you start a band? 3 chords in a
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
You know, so like
You don't gotta know how to play. You just gotta be a punk.
Yeah.
That's it. And you know, we just kind of grew up like there was a bunch of us who are activist kids, all like kids of immigrants, who very much were involved in community work. And this was like, oh, we took this music and we would rewrite lyrics and then take them to marches and protest. Like, you know, most people, they don't know what son jarocho is.
Yeah.
You know, son jarocho is like a Afro-Mexican style of music from Veracruz. But most people don't know that. But I'll be like, oh, you ever hear La Bamba? And
That's
people are
kind of
like,
similar.
Yeah.
oh, like La Bamba is a
It's a
400-year-old Afro-Mexican song. It's a 400-year-old son
wow.
jarocho song
No way.
from Veracruz. And it's the most famous song. Why? Because a homeboy from the valley,
Yeah.
Richard Stevens Valenzuela, also known as
Richie
Richie
Valens.
Valens,
Oh,
made
cool.
it a rock and roll song, and now it's super
Covered so
popular
much,
all
yeah.
over, right? And so, but that song, Bamba, is a son jarocho song,
Oh, interesting.
and it's 3 chords: C, F, G.
Easy.
Easy. If you could
And
play C,
everybody
F, G,
recognizes it.
you could play La Bamba. Now you can
Yeah.
play this 400-year-old Afro-Mexican song, right?
Yeah.
And then we
Continue
would
telling
write
the story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
correct, continue telling the story.
Yeah.
And then for us, we're singing songs like La Bamba, but a lot of lyrics were about Veracruz. And so
Yeah.
we write lyrics and be like, to talk about here, you know? Like my verse,
Chuchumbe.
No, for Bamba.
For Bamba.
Is
Oh, you look.
Ya no llores, llorona.
Ya no llores, llorona. Ya no llores, llorona. Mi gente lucha contra leyes racistas en California. Allá arriba, y arriba, y arriba, y arriba, y arriba iré. Yo no creo en fronteras. Yo no
Yeah.
creo en fronteras. Yo cruzaré, yo cruzaré,
That
yo
one's a
cruzaré.
good one.
So we would start. Denise has one, you know.
Yeah.
Que viva
Yeah.
las mujeres.
What's that first part? The El La Bamba Rebelde.
El La Bamba Rebelde.
I remember during that time, I had never played music. I got a guitar, also learned how to play guitar at the park, in Huntington Park, that's where I'm from. And I wanted to play Nirvana and whole songs. So I was like, all I played was dope parts. Like, my mom was like, otra vez? I'm like, that's all I know how to play. It's funny because I was a folklorico dancer in high school, but I like never got into mariachi. Which it just wasn't available. Like, my parents worked all the time. The only reason I danced was because of a high school, and I didn't want to do PE. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do folklorico. My mom used to dance it in Mexico, but like the first time I learned bamba was a dance. You know, like I've been dancing bamba since I was a teenager, and then you come to learn like, oh, it's a jarocho song. Oh, this music comes from like folks who were like liberating
Colonization.
themselves and like
Yeah,
slave
from the
music
indigenous.
and yeah, and so like you learn like these like histories that you never knew from Mexico, right? And as Chicanos, I think we were so desperate to just have some kind of cultura that that meant something to us, you know. And for me, I remember I was still like in that place of really being like, you know, in the place of not accepting like being called a pocha and all that stuff at home because I wasn't Mexican enough and not speaking Spanish enough. And then even like doing jarocho music, it's like, are we doing it right? I'm not even from Veracruz. It was like this feelings of never getting it right, you know? But then,
not
yeah,
belonging.
never belonging.
Yeah.
And excuse me, I think when we started rewriting everything, that's when it started making sense, right? And
Okay.
so like the verse
Well, yeah,
I
because
wrote,
once you are physically writing words, it's like, oh,
yeah,
you
and this
connect.
verse was like, if this bamba is our bamba and we're changing the lyrics, then I guess it's the rebellious bamba. You know, I'm not gonna stop playing
I
it.
love that song,
So
yeah.
we put
Es
Es
la
la
bamba
bamba rebelde
rebelde.
que cantaré porque somos chicanos de East LA. Yo no creo en fronteras, yo
Yeah,
cruzaré. And I found the journal where I wrote that verse still. And I was doing spring cleaning, and I was like, should I? Does this serve me? I'll keep it, you know? Because I'm like,
That's
maybe this is
cool.
going to mean something one day. We'll be in a museum, you know? But,
But now
that
we-
meant so much to so many people, and we didn't know.
And that allowed us to then write our own music,
Mm-hmm.
right? And even talk about this place of like belonging, not belonging
In
is
betweenness.
Napantla.
Napantla.
Nepantla.
Yeah,
So-
well, let's get into a song that you recorded here. It is the first song, which is Cumbia de Mi Barrio. Let's get into it, and then we'll talk a little bit more about it and get into the
fun
details of
Órale.
the album. All right, let's get into it.
Somos de la tierra, somos de maíz. Mira cómo baile la gente aquí. Cuando el biribiri mueve, nada me duele. Bombón que me pegue, levanta la plebe. Mira mi abuela, viene con su chela y no puede parar. Cuando el ritmo pega ni puede rezar, gozando la cumbia de frente para atrás. Las doñas de mi barrio hasta su de Panamá, su de Panamá. Vamos todos a bailar, a sentirnos bien. Vamos todos a gozar, todo va a estar bien. Desde África hasta Belice, París a Bangkok, la raza muy sexy. La mesa en el baile me pone muy feliz. Es la cumbia de mi sangre y lo traje para ti. Lo traje para ti, lo traje para ti. Nacimos de mujeres, nacimos de las flores. Y no tengo país, crezco donde quiera, mira la raíz. Ritmo de mi pueblo, suena muy feliz. Es la cumbia de mi barrio y lo canto para ti. Lo canto para ti, 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 ti. Vamos todos a bailar, a sentirnos bien. Vamos todos a gozar, todo va a estar bien. together. So we gotta sing loud and proud. We gotta sing loud and proud, cause the time is now. Ain't no tomorrow if we don't stand up. So let's go, mi gente. Que viva la cumbia. Que viva la raza. Vamos todos a bailar, a sentirnos bien. Vamos todos a gozar. Todo va a estar bien. Check, here we go, yo. Everybody in the house, yo, throw your hands high. Throw your hands high, yo, throw your hands high. Everybody in the house, throw your hands high. Throw your hands high, throw your hands high, yo. Rock a two-step if you're feeling alright. Feeling alright, feeling alright. Everybody, 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 everybody. Now that's a banger.
That's
That's a banger.
so fun.
Yeah.
But that's what you always come to expect when you listen to Las Cafeteras. Like, I've been to your shows at least 3 times. Sadly, I haven't been more because you guys play a lot.
Yeah. And we
But
don't
every
play in
time-
LA a lot, actually. We don't play in LA that
Not
much.
recently, right?
Yeah.
So the few times that I get to see you, always on the feet.
Yeah,
Always
yeah,
get
yeah.
on your feet on the beat, you know?
Well, because we were protest kids, where we kind of came up as organizers and activists, and back in the day, that's kind of what you do, right? Like
Yeah.
part of protest, engaging people, making sure everybody's involved. So then when we kind of transition to music, it's kind of the same thing. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, the music only helps me get people more engaged and
Yeah, it
involved.
might be
and stuff
easier,
like,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was always the goal, like just to get more people like having a good time. And then you slip in the medicine. You slip in
yeah.
sort of like the consciousness, right? When they don't even know.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's like
Yeah,
having
yeah.
when people eating menudo and you don't know. And if like
it's stomach,
almost like
yeah.
it's vegan menudo and you're like, oh, this is so good. And I'm like, yeah, it's good for you too, bro. It's not killing you. You know what I mean?
So I had a question, like, a night in the Pantla, is it similar to whatever happens in the Pantla stays in the
Oh
Pantla?
my goodness.
Or does it
Wow.
go more?
We should have a shirt that says that.
Oh,
Credit you.
oh my goodness. I don't know.
What happened in the Pantla that night
you know
that
what?
made you write an
I
album?
think when we were trying to figure out like how did this body of work, like what's the relationship with all these songs? What are we trying to like offer the world in this? And for us, we're like, because the songs they jump from genre to genre. There's it's really hard to even say like what kind of music does Las Cafeteras play. But I feel like it's something for each of our, like the essence that we all hold. And we're like, well, it's not just a jarocho. It's not just a cumbia. It's not just a ballad like album. It's something for everyone. And it actually reflects all of us. And for us, we're just kind of being like, this is who we are. And who we are is like the folks that are in between. We don't fit here, we don't fit there. Like we are living in the in between, and sometimes a love song comes through, right? And sometimes you're gonna it's an homage to El Barrio, right? And sometimes you're talking about your mom's journey of immigration, and like that's what it's like to be for myself, like to be a Chicana, to be from Southeast LA. Sometimes I just want to play a love song. I'm a kid of Mexicans too, like nos gusta sufrir,
No.
And sometimes you're gonna party and sometimes you're gonna protest, and that's just kind of like what is it to be us?
And
What's
can
it
we
like
do
to be
both?
us?
Can we do like there's a song on here, More of You, which is we didn't play today, but it's a song. If you listen to it, it sounds like a toxic relationship between two people, and it's a bolero in English, which was really well done, beautifully sung by Denise and Moises, who brought it to the table. But it's actually a song about addiction. So
interesting.
so if you listen to the song, it's actually not between two people. It's actually someone trying to let go of
between that person.
It's
and
like
the
it's someone,
substance.
someone saying, I love you, but I can't have any more of you.
That
And
is a
it's-
toxic
And
relationship.
it is a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
And I wrote it because I have friends who are dealing with addiction, but I wanted to write it as sort of like addiction. A lot of times people understand like it's someone who can't let go. And sometimes it's a relationship, sometimes it's an addiction, sometimes it's a job, sometimes it's a partner. And
But
then
it's crazy because even love, the way that it's, I used to be a therapist, and so I'd read the DSM-5 a lot, and like, they talk about love as if it is a mental illness.
Yeah.
Like there's no way to explain like the chemistry in your
Yeah.
body, but it's very addictive.
Now, I had a question, kind of bringing up an interesting point. Like, you're not into drugs or anything. Like,
Are you?
underneath.
No, we're pretty straight. We're straight
We're
edge.
pretty straight edge.
We're bringing back the straight edge movement.
Talk
from
to us
the
when we were
80s.
teenagers.
Yeah.
What's the challenge of you being able to speak from a third person type of way from somebody else's experience that is not your own?
Oh, I mean,
Because most of your music is from like your
yeah,
own
it is personal experience. It's interesting because I think addiction is something, because everybody's addicted to something, whether you know it or not. It literally, like, some people are addicted to chocolate. Some people are addicted to their cell phones. Some people are addicted to social media, and like addiction is not something that is foreign, to me or to our experience as humans. So I think kind of like putting that in, but I think
It's just socially acceptable.
yeah, I think some are
Yeah.
just socially acceptable. But I think over the years, and what I think this is only our third album that we put out, but I think we've become better writers. Where before, like La Bamba, right? Like, yo no creo en fronteras,
Make
right?
a
It'll be like,
statement.
right? It's a statement, we get right to it. You know what I mean? I think we've become better writers using, analogies, metaphors, experiences, to allow to be better storytellers. Like we're painting pictures now versus using one or two colors.
Yeah.
It's like actually there's a whole palette we can use to describe an experience that many of us can go through, right? And so like that's one example. A bolero in English, which you don't hear all that much, and then also describing a toxic relationship that I think a lot of us at one point or another have experienced, either with a person or with a substance or a relationship in one way or another, right? And so I think we're trying to be better writers and better than I think before. There's a time to be playful, a time to be direct, and there's a time to also be
there's a lot.
poetic, And I love poetry. I love when people are able to do that.
It's also kind of the way that actors train themselves to like become this different person, tell a different story in every show or every movie. There's a line that in El Chichumbe I wrote
from the first album.
From the first album. En camino a Arizona, no sé qué va a pasar. Si me ven con mi jarana, la migra me va a agarrar. Now, I'm not posing as an immigrant, undocumented immigrant, but I do understand racial profiling. And I was a child of undocumented immigrants for a long time, and so I understand the fear, right? And so, like, it's also like how the proximity to the experience, right? What are you engaging in, like the emotions that come with that, like what you observe, what you reflect, and sometimes in being a writer or in writing around symbolism, it's not the connection is deep and it's there, and it's almost like a different air about you, a different character. But it's also those moments that as a child I remember living with my parents, right? And in a way, because I was a child, I had no power, I had no say. I was one with them, right? So I understood in my own little way as a kid. And that's what I'd write through. Like, what voice and what character of your lived experience are you writing through? What are you observing, and how are you putting yourself in the first person when you're writing that story? Even if you didn't live it, but how do you imagine this person feels? And I think that's where you're able to connect with different people, even though it's not you who's saying it.
Or just tell stories, right?
Yeah,
like
it's
It's like empathy.
Yeah, and I think musicians and artists are also storytellers, right? Everybody's telling a story.
Yeah.
And so I think that's...
that goes with even, like, he wrote the words and I sang them, right? So in some way I still have to have a relationship with that
That makes
story being
sense.
told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
Or
are
I'll
you?
ask him, like, is this right? Is this what you're trying to convey? Because
Yeah.
this is how I feel saying
You're
it.
an actress, a singer
Right.
actress.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Now, are you two the principal songwriters, or do the rest of the bands also contribute words, songs?
I write a lot. I do write a lot. And then I write a lot of the songs from poetry. So a lot of the songs come from poems and poetries and just songwriting.
Okay.
And then I'll bring them to the table, and then I'll be like, Denise, what do you think about this? So some songs in here, like, it's verbatim, and then she interprets the story vocally.
But we talk about it, and we
yeah.
change some parts.
And
right?
other ones will be like, oh, here's half a song. Here's what I'm thinking,
and then we'll have the writing session.
we'll finish it together. Like Morena. I remember telling Moises, who's our musical director, I said I want I really love like Afro-Peruvian music, and I love the call and response, and I love the feeling of it, and I wanted to do something like that. So he came up with a beat. You know, me, Denise, and him got together and we started writing.
Yeah, we
you
wrote.
know.
We just sat there in the studio and we just would write, and we
Had it on
record.
loop.
We'd
Had it on
write,
the
we
loop.
record, and then we'd like, what would you feel like? Why are we talking about this, right? And for me, I remember I was dedicating the moment and the words to my older sister. I only have one sister, but she's you know, she's más morenita que yo. She's a little darker skinned than I am, and I remember her talking to me about the way she was treated differently than me growing up, the things that she was told about her skin and about how to lighten her skin. And even though I was like, well, we're talking about Mother Earth, we're talking about dark-skinned women, like how are we showing love and cariño to this,
Got
right?
love and cariño and the pain
And the
also,
pain.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, and also just engaging in this playful, like being a brown-skinned woman.
For
is
people
so
who don't
beautiful.
understand Nepantla, who don't live in the Nepantla, you can be told like if you don't take power and living in the between, you can feel shame for not being white enough, Mexican enough, American enough, woman enough, man enough. Like there's a lot of shame when you don't feel good in your skin and who you are and your identity, right? And so, you know, when we Morena Morena, which is an Afro-Peruvian song, like it's really been led by a lot of black women, you know, brown-skinned women, you know, Susana Vaca and folks like her. And so like, well, here's a song we want. If we're doing that style, let's talk about the brown-skinned women in our lives, Mother Earth, and how all these things like how we're proud to be brown people. And even
Brown
if we're now,
people,
what would
yeah.
it sound like to feel that
And it's
kind of
even the
pride?
culture, right? Like we say brown kids doing brown things, you know?
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's the cultura that
Yeah.
we come from, that we're also singing for.
Yeah.
Right? Because no matter what happens in this world, we're still brown and Mexican, and that's our culture.
And that's
Yeah.
you know, that's a dope song too. Which we did play today.
No, but you played some great songs.
Yeah.
You played, like really some really good ones. They got Luna Lovers.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
classic.
It's a
Oaxaca song number
classic.
2.
Yeah.
I chose.
He
that.
yeah. I want to say Byron,
curator.
the curator said, "Hey, I want to hear Luna Lover," which is good because we started off with
almost did
cumbia, and Luna Lovers, and that's like a party song, right? Like this is party
Yeah.
song, celebration, everybody singing, and then we can also do Luna Lovers.
And Luna
Yeah.
Lovers, we've actually tried to phase out of our
No
sets.
way.
This
I know,
is what
right?
we
That's
get.
how
You
I
have
feel.
a T-shirt.
I
of
know,
it.
I know.
How could you
But
not?
this is the exact reaction we've gotten. We're like, man, no one's gonna like miss it. And then there's the where's
Yeah,
Luna
yeah.
Lovers and
Yeah.
play Bamba. And we're like, whoa.
You
so
know.
it's
a
you know,
classic.
yeah,
It is a thing
It's
where
love
it's a thing
song.
like when you
People
write new
love
music,
love.
you want to play the new stuff,
Yeah.
and that means you can't play everything, and you learn really quick what people want to hear.
Yeah.
You know, people.
Yeah.
You know, so like you want to do both. You want to show people your growth, and you also want to be like, yo, let's play the classics too. Like,
Yeah.
you know, Luna Lovers is. I
It's
love
just
that
like
damn
a
song.
sweet, to the point love song, and sometimes we need more of that, you know. But we
Yeah.
used to get. It's funny, like when we first put it out, we used to get flown to weddings or just requested just for
Hey, free
the
food.
first, just for the wedding song, the
Oh,
first dance.
that's great.
And then they'd be like, okay, bye.
And I'd be like, yo, we got other songs.
We
They're
have
like,
other
no.
songs. They're like, we just
wanted to do
wanted
I'm like,
Luna
we have.
Lovers.
I'm like, Bamba,
And
play
then we have
it, play
so
it.
many people like, I was pregnant when I went to your show.
Yeah.
This is Luna. You know, we have so
we
many
have. There's a
baby
lot
Lunas.
of Lunas.
Baby
Because of
Luna.
you.
What was
We
Maybe
can't take
I
all the
think
credit,
so,
but
I
we will
think
take a
so.
lot of
He'll
credit.
take a lot of credit.
But for real, it's a lot of friends, a lot of people. You know, when that song came out, it was people
Yeah.
who heard
Yeah.
it loved the song, fell in love to the song, got married to the song,
Yeah.
had babies to the song,
Maybe got divorced by
and
the
then
song.
but
We
now
don't
they have. Well, we meet a lot of Lunas on tour,
Okay.
and they're like,
Yeah.
"Yo, I was pregnant. This was a song, and now we have our baby
Or like
Luna."
it's their
That's
little
awesome.
lullaby. Like their name
yeah.
is Luna. They'll sing it to them.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's a
sounds like it has
beautiful.
lot
It's a
of-
beautiful thing.
A lot of things,
Yeah.
and reviving it is a great.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
you revived it for this session, so
It's yeah.
it's a
You're
great
gonna love
transition.
it.
I think, yeah, Luna is gonna sound great.
Here you go. If this is your first time tuning in for this song, well, then this is a perfect song for you. This is Luna Lovers, of course, by Las Cafeteras.
Enjoy.
There we go, reviving a classic.
Hey, play that for your wife tonight. Tonight, if you're in
Make
trouble.
sure, dedicate that to someone you love.
Hey, and it's 4 chords. It's 4 chords.
You can learn it too just by watching.
Yeah. 4 chords, easy. It's a loop, and it's beautiful.
We've
Anybody
had
can do
people
it.
play it. Like we've had, there was this young girl. I think she had a ukulele, and she just showed up. She's like, "I know the song," or the mom said that. She was real young. We're like, hop on
Oh,
stage,
cool.
Yeah,
and she
super
played
cool.
it with us, and it was really cute.
It's
it was a
4
festival.
chords and a loop, man. It's beautiful. It's nice. You know,
Yeah.
we're not trying.
simple.
We're simple. We're simple people.
simple
You know, we're not
people.
trying to trick you. We
Simple people, but extravagant shows.
Hey, yeah,
There's like a
gracias,
whole
man.
production too. It seems like there's not like a whole lot of production on your end, but when you look at it from the audience, it looks like
Yeah.
did they
Sometimes-
take months to plan this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I look at videos, like stories, I'm like, oh, I wish I could be in the audience. I want to see what it's like.
It is
I always
a
tell
whole
people,
different
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Las Cafeteras is the best band you never heard of. When they're like, I never heard of you. I'm like, yeah, man.
We know.
We're the
We
best
know.
band you never heard of, bro.
So tell me a little bit about this. I know about this new album. I know that you guys tour a lot.
Yeah.
You're very busy people. So where did you find time to make this album, and how long did it take you? And what were the challenges that came from?
Dude, our last
No,
album.
It's called a quarantine. We were there.
I don't know if you heard about this virus, bro. That was killing everybody.
You had a good good break, I guess.
No, yeah, I think pandemic, it's kind of like, it's one of those life things, you never meet people where like they make excuses for a lot. They're like, oh, whatever it is, why they can't get things done. The pandemic was another place where people, it's like, it was another barrier for people, like people were enclosed, people were like
It was
in
a hard
lockdown.
time.
So, but a lot of people took advantage of like, yo, actually let's create.
I mean, the music industry got flooded. with
Everybody,
albums.
right? It was
Yeah.
horrible, but like
Yeah, we weren't on tour, so we were able to stay home and write.
And so if a lot of people did take advantage, a lot of people did not. We did, and we did a lot of writing, a lot of putting together, a lot of creation, and I do think I'm one of those people when someone tells you like you can't do something, whatever it is, I'm
You're the opposite.
Leo
I'm the
in
opposite. I'm like,
him.
oh,
Well, then let me show
No,
you
no,
that
no.
Oh my
can.
God,
You
he
know,
totally is
dude.
that person. I've known this guy for like, 20 years?
yeah.
Yes. that's
Even in
so you.
college, shout out to Maithy Rojas, profe. She had a Chicana studies class, and I remember it was Chicana literature, and everybody talked about how great the class was. Oh, I'm thinking about taking it, and she's like, oh, but Professor Rojas doesn't give A's, and I'm like,
Let me get that A.
all right, and for whatever, I remember like taking that class, wanting to get an A. I remember I loved it. I loved the books we read. I loved the conversations, and I remember I got a B+.
I was gonna say.
Maithy Rojas. Hey, the rumors are true.
Send this video to
You know what I'm
her.
saying? But I remember even being like, oh, that they don't give A's. I'm like, I want to go get an A.
B+
But
is her
I always
A.
feel like in pandemic, like you can't do nothing. No, man, like everybody, whenever there's a barrier, there's people who try to figure out ways around it and people who don't. And I feel like for us, we wrote a lot, created a lot, did a lot, and this album kind of came out of that time. And
Yeah.
before this, it was 2017?
Yeah.
So before this album, the
Taste
last
of
album was
LA.
2017.
Yeah.
You
A
know?
Taste of LA.
And so that's
Yeah.
what, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23,
Every 5 years,
24.
Well, that's also
7
the thing
years.
about being independent
But,
artists,
I mean,
right?
yes.
You don't have the backing of a label.
No,
label,
we
yeah.
wear many
or
hats.
managers.
Correct.
You have your own managers, but not to the extent
We
of
wear
these
many
majors.
hats.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
We're self-managed. We have a booker, but we're an
We do all the
independent
other
crew.
things, yeah.
We're an independent crew, and so we're very proud of that. And that comes with a lot of pros. Also comes with a lot of cons.
Yeah,
You
but you
know?
had a lot of singles in between too. Like
yeah.
A Long Time
Yeah,
Coming
and
was
I-
awesome.
yeah, that was-
Long Time Coming.
That
You
was
see that
great.
video?
Yeah, that was a fun video. And then Oaxaca.
Oaxaca Love Song.
Oaxaca
Song number
Love-
2.
The Oaxaca Love Song, the video, is super cute. It's like a 1950s little like go-go dancer kind of vibe. That was the first time we actually saw each other in person
Oh, really?
since the quarantine had happened. So the vaccine didn't exist yet. We actually
Everybody's
illegally
Got together? Oh,
because
wow.
you're not supposed to be in a space more than 3 people or whatever.
Shout out to LATV.
Hey.
Hey, thank you for creating
So
the space.
I don't know who opened the doors for us, but all of us, I think everyone in the video still wears a mask except
Yeah,
you
you-
and I. And I was freaking out. I was like, no, me voy a enfermar. But yeah, and because a lot of the album, we didn't even see each other. Everyone recorded on their own, and then the
I
songs
remember
came
because I was
together.
home. Leon Bridges put out a video. Like this is when like in the height of quarantine.
Yeah, they're doing at-home videos.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Leon
sure.
Bridges did a video, and the WAP video came out. The Cardi B, Megan Thee
Yeah,
Stallion.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, dude, if they're doing videos,
We can do.
we can do videos.
You
So
wanna
we just
say-
needed the space. So
big
like,
difference,
contacted LATV.
Yeah, they
where
have
it was
a
like,
team.
well, because it was big, right? You just needed a space where you can like quarantine and have space.
Yeah.
And we did. I'm like, man, if other folks can
Yeah.
do it, we can do it. And you're right. We hadn't seen each other in a year. We sent each other tracks.
Yeah,
we
that's how this album came together,
We put in.
most of
We
it.
put. How we even recorded it was me and Moises doing a lot of the work, sending each other stuff, and then Denise went, and met separately. We didn't even see each other when we were recording a lot of these things. And then we finished up. But like Cumbia de mi Barrio was done with Sergio Mendoza. Esta Noche was done with Sergio Mendoza, who's from Orquesta Mendoza. He did a lot of the arreglos with Natalia Lafourcade and
way, yeah.
her stuff. So shout out to Sergio for some of his work. To Groove Me, the DJ and producer did Caravana. Shout out to To Groove Me. And then Moises, our musical director, also produced a lot of the tracks here, man.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
We're
Great
really
album.
proud of this album.
And the art. too,
Eduardo
is really awesome.
Chavarin
yeah.
from Tijuana, Mexicano, amazing artist, and did this art piece, A Night in Nepantla. And it's a jaguar because in the mythology of Mexica, Aztec mythology, the jaguar is the animal that leads you to Nepantla,
afterlife.
who can lead you to that place, the
Yeah.
in-between, and can lead you back.
So the spirit animal that guides you through this world and the underworld, the afterlife.
That's really cool.
So that's why the
so
jaguar
we
is
kind of
up in
wanted
there.
it kind of like a yin and
The
yang.
yin, yeah. And Eduardo did this great piece for us,
The
and we love it.
classic emblems of
Classic,
Yeah.
Colibri,
Cultura.
nopales. We survive in all conditions. The butterfly, mariposa. My mom's from Michoacan. Shout out.
Clara Monarca. though.
Huh? What did I say? I said what I say.
You
Mariposa.
said mariposa.
No, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, and then we have the hummingbird, which is our animal guide.
That's just you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's all in your early albums.
Yeah.
And for us, it's it's the spirit of the ancestors, also spirit of rebirth. And so in Las Cafeteras, we've had many rebirths, and especially when we I think brought the hummingbird to us, like we were going through this really hard time of like, do we stop playing? Do we keep playing? And we kind of like went full force, and we're like, the music we write is the stories from our people, and like we deserve this space too. And so like we kind of went with.
Dude, there was one time.
Oh my God, he gets so
There's one
excited.
time, like we were fighting as a band, and we're like, and there's a lot of times where when you're a band,
Especially a big band.
yeah, big band, right? Many members, and people are like want to go their own ways. I remember our booker was like, hey, none of you are Lionel Richie, but together you're the Commodores. So stop it.
And I went to therapy a few
and we're
times.
like,
All right.
All right.
Therapy.
Yeah,
No, we
yeah,
actually did. People
yeah.
always laugh. We actually had to go
we have
to
a good
therapy.
therapist, or we
Yeah.
did,
We
Oh,
should
wow.
call her
We need to
again.
go back.
Yeah.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time.
You were talking about making songs about our people, and as you do it, many of the lyrics really reflect that, especially the song Caravana. I think
Oh,
that's
yeah,
such
yeah,
an
yeah,
important
yeah, yeah.
song. Let's get into it because you recorded it here in the
Check it
studio.
out.
So
Check it out.
we're going to play Caravana, number 4 on the album. Here's Las Cafeteras with Caravana.
Como quiero mi tierra, siempre dice mi mamá. Se vino sola pa'l norte, 20 años pasaron ya. Atrás dejó familia que no volvería a ver más. Y si no escapaba el hambre, la iba a matar. Y así se despidió. Mi camino es largo, tu fe yo te encargo. No sé si voy a regresar. Y por eso yo canto y aprieto mi santo cuando me siento a llorar. Vámonos para allá, vámonos para allá, vámonos para allá, vámonos para allá.
y fotos de mi niña.
de mi niña.
Yo me voy para el norte y no me pueden parar.
Nunca
Y si la migra me trampa, yo me vuelvo
a cruzar y dice,
Vámonos para allá, vámonos para allá, vámonos para allá, vámonos para allá. Échale, Pablito.
Mi camino es largo, en tu fe yo te encargo, no sé si voy a regresar. Y por eso yo canto y aprieto mi santo cuando me siento a llorar. Yo no quiero sufrir, yo no quiero morir, solo quiero vivir en paz. And that's why I sing when it's easy to cry, hoping that the angels will stay by my side.
Vámonos para allá, vámonos para allá, vámonos para allá, vámonos para allá. Qué bonito, no bonito.
All right. Well, thank you.
Another banger.
Another banger.
Another banger. Shout
Just
out.
Las Cafeteras.
That was that song was produced by DeGroove Me. Shout out to DeGroove Me for putting that track on. Who's part of La Junta sound system. Great DJ and producer in LA. And I always like going to his house, and I'm like, bro, what do you got? What are your beats? But you know, this was written at a time where a lot of the caravans were coming up. You know, from Centro America. And a lot of our family, man, like Central American families, primos, friends, Mexicanos, came up in caravans, crossed
Yeah.
the desert.
Yeah.
You know, so a lot of us have family who experienced that. And everybody talks about caravans as like these like illegal migrants kind of thing. I'm like, dude, like these caravans are actually full of hope. They're full of dreams. They're full of beauty, resilience.
Yeah.
You know, and so like, how come nobody talks about it like that?
a lot of bravery.
You know what I mean?
Like leaving
nobody-
a place knowing that you might never see your family
Correct.
again.
And so we wanted, so Caravana, it's an homage to all the people who've had to leave their land for whatever reason, in hopes that something
Better.
is better over there. And in the chorus we say, vámonos pa' allá.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
it's so simple, right? It's like not even a specific place. It's just like somewhere out. Let's go
Yeah,
there.
because migration happens everywhere.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
there's Latinos in Amsterdam, there's Latinos in Berlin, and
Yeah,
Germany,
yeah.
everywhere. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It's just people mostly come to the States because that's more in the news, and you know,
Yeah.
movies are made out here.
Oh,
and
because
stuff
also
like that.
colonized the hell out of like Latino America. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like it's
yeah.
just it's not a secret, you know. And so it's for us, we like our parents were undocumented when they came to this country, and here we are,
here.
Here's
you
our
know.
whole childhood.
Yeah, and like
here,
we
yeah.
went to college, you know, we out here paying taxes.
Yeah.
We're like
Contributing to society.
You know, like playing music,
Trying
like
to buy a
we're
house, trying to buy a house.
you know, we're trying to buy a house. You know, we're the cutest kids on the block, man. You know, you don't want more of us? Come on.
Anchor
Come on.
babies.
Anchor babies. This song is dedicated to all the anchor babies out
Better
there.
than
Like
Nepo
this.
babies.
Like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nos vemos.
Like that.
Better than
yeah.
Nepo babies.
Hey, hey, ooh, like that. It should be like a little battle, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little
Anchor
better.
babies versus Nepo
I
babies.
know, right?
We definitely win. We definitely win.
So you released this album, and what's next? You write a lot. Are you currently working on new music as well? Is that always a constant thing? Is that what's
It is. It is. We have a bunch of projects in the making. We're probably working on more like EP style versus albums, but I think
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of
It's a
work,
lot of
man.
work.
And again, being
A
independent,
lot of concentrated work.
we have to raise money, right? Like part of touring, like people don't
Merch.
make money off music anymore, right? Like everything on streaming. So you make money on the road, you make money with merch, and you kind of figure it out. Me and Denise do a lot of like workshops. We do a lot of anti-oppression trainings, storytelling trainings
Cool.
throughout the country as people who came up doing popular education and political education work. like we also combine that with our
Yeah,
work.
that's a lot of, so I think a lot of folks who are fans don't see that part of the work that we do.
Yeah.
But when we do long tours, this is how we spend most of our time.
Yeah, nobody knows about the side hustles.
Yeah.
And
And then
it's beautiful because
Oh, yeah.
it's part of the music, right? So we go to different universities, we have these conversations around power, privilege, race, gender. And now, I mean, I think it's like I told them, like, either we're out of a job or this is job security because, man, that DEI life is going to...
It's now DIE.
DIY.
DIE.
DIY, yeah.
Yeah.
DEI is like, no, DIY.
But you know, we wrote a production set.
Oh, yeah.
So we put another production called Hasta la Muerte, which is like a whole nother, like it's different from the band. It's like a Day of the Dead show. So we only do it 2 months out of the year, October and November, and we'll be doing it our LA premiere this year.
Oh, no way.
And so there'll be
This is our third run, right?
This is our third year.
season.
Like
Yeah.
last season was all the Midwest.
Oh, interesting.
And then the first season was West Coast, but we're trying to take it places that don't have sort of like access to like
Music and
music and culture.
Oh,
These
okay.
stories.
And like Day of the Dead productions, stories, songs. But this will be the first year we're doing the LA. We're doing a West Coast tour, and we're excited
It's a
about that.
beautiful show.
Yeah, and so
That's awesome.
it's a mix of original songs, traditional, and choreography,
Skits.
theater,
Oh,
poetry,
Yeah, so it's mostly like
visuals.
so full.
It's
Kind of like
four-
a play, like a,
14 on the
music
road.
theater.
variety show.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I mean, we for us, it was really important to like encapsulate, like, what does this time mean to us, our families, right? We have, like, we watch like Coco, and
Yeah.
that was beautiful. We also see the tradition in Oaxaca and like different states in Mexico, and we see how it's become a popular, more mainstream holiday. But I think in the time that we were writing it, for me, I was like, every time we have a lot of work during this time, but I feel like I'm losing the sacred time in my life to do ceremony, to really engage in thanking the ancestors, creating the altar in my home. And so how do we still hold that, and how do we tell the world, like, this is what it means for me, right? And as a community, what are the things that we're losing? What are we grieving as a community? And how do we understand this rebirth, this afterlife, and how, life is not, death is not
The end.
the end.
It's
It's
just
only
the beginning.
and we love like this understanding of a cyclical kind of life, and giving life to the cultura through the music, through the stories. And what we've lost as a people is also what we can build as a people. And
That's
so I think in
beautiful.
this show, it's beautiful and it's fun. Like, everybody comes out like super emotional, and I think that's beautiful because then they start sharing,
Yeah.
like, this is how we celebrate, this is how we do the altar. And we always hold community altares wherever we do the show, in whatever theater. But I think like my favorite part of this show is when we come out and people just tell us, like,
That's
this
cool.
is what it's like in my family. And I think that's kind of the essence of what we're doing.
Hasta la Muerte.
Coming to your town.
Coming to LA.
Coming to a
your
barrio
town.
near you.
Yeah. Strikes back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll keep you updated. I'll definitely share your program when you announce it officially on your Instagram. Follow them on their Instagram, by the way, at Las Cafeteras.
We're on the gram.
You're on the ground.
We're little by little on the TikTok. Little by little, man. But we're on the gram.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's end the show, the interview, the session with an awesome song. I loved it when this song came out. Played it a lot.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the song, can you, each of you, differently, share your favorite lyric of the song, doing a little a cappella version?
Oh
of it?
my goodness.
Yeah, before we go.
I was in Oaxaca and I wrote the first line, man. I love Oaxaca and the culture, the resilience, the connection to indigeneity, and the struggle. Like whenever there's a teacher strike in Mexico, like Oaxaca's on the front lines. You know what I mean? Benito Juarez was out there, you know.
Oh, wow.
The spirit of Benito. But I remember writing the first line in Oaxaca, en Oaxaca todo brilla y se come con tortilla. And I'm like, it's a handmade tortilla from Oaxaca, bro. Atraída.
Yeah.
What's that lyric that I was like, you can't write that, that's nasty.
What?
That's why you left it in there and people love it.
Oh, because it's a
funny.
triple sentido, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And if you know, you know. As the
Okay.
kids say.
What's that line?
Sing it.
Oh,
sing it.
snap. I don't, no, it's like, si Dios. Say it. Si Dios no me ayuda, soñaré de tu ayuda.
I know that one.
Yeah, right.
Redondita y tostadita.
Así te ves
I
bonita.
was just like, oh my God, you're so gross.
It's not. It's a sexy ass song.
Yeah.
Like if you know,
yeah.
you know, bro. That's
Yeah.
a sexy,
I love all the
sensual
food innuendos in there.
innuendos, bro. And if there's anything Raza likes to do, is we like to eat, bro.
We like to
Hey.
eat both ways.
Hey! Oh!
Is that your favorite too, or you have
I
another
guess
favorite?
so.
Ay, mentirosa.
Ay, me da calor.
It's yes, there's a lot of food references, and it's a sexy, beautiful homage to Oaxaca, man.
pretty
Much
fun.
love, mad love to Oaxaca.
I want to hear your favorite.
She sang it. She
Let
just
me
sang it.
I need to look up these lyrics.
She sang it. That's it. I think that's not your favorite one.
I don't think so.
You have another favorite one?
No, I mean, that was my favorite one, the redondita tostadita.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
cute. But
Redondita, tostadita.
That's a-
Así te ves bonita.
that song has so many layers. It's
Oh,
so
wow,
fun.
it's good.
I like when you go, hot like chilatole, tasty like my mole, like my mama makes atole. I'ma love you like pozole.
Yeah,
It's
that
like,
was
what?
good. That was a good one right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun.
But I remember that's a song we did with Moises. You know, I took him the lyrics, and he's like, "Ooh, yeah." And then he's like, "Stop talking, come back tomorrow, 12 o'clock, and I'll have something for you."
Oh,
and so I came
nice.
back the next day, and he's like, "All right, you ready?" You know, because I sang a bunch of lyrics, but I didn't know what the music was yet. And he's like, "All right, imagine if Beck and James Brown had a baby in East LA."
And he's still there. That's funny.
And there it is. That's Oaxaca
That's
Love
where
Song.
his dance
Like
moves
that was
come
like the
from.
musical inspiration for him. That he came up with this sort of funky 50s thing, and I love it, man.
But have
It's
you
so
seen
fun.
him dance in the show?
no.
So,
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
Yes,
I
at the
don't have
show,
enough
yes,
space.
I
I don't have enough space
Yeah,
in
at
the
the
studio.
show,
But the
yes.
show,
Las señoras se derriten y se desmayan. And
Hey.
it's hilarious because sometimes he has this thing where he has like this coat and he like throws it off.
very James Brown. Very
yeah,
James Brown.
I love it. I mean,
Yeah.
the music video is super
Oh.
cute too.
No
Yeah.
pues.
So
Yeah.
watch the music video if you haven't seen it, and it starts off
It shows your
in
moves.
Zapotec. So it's a song in homage to Oaxaca. So we begin actually with the homeboy from Pochos Tlayudas, best Tlayudas in LA. Check him out. But he actually begins the music video in Zapotec, which I love.
Órale, well,
Yeah.
hey, thank you for making it all the way to Northridge.
The Valley,
The Valley.
LA
You
to the
made
VA.
it. Yeah. We got to have a Las Cafeteras show.
Woo!
Dodgers
These
are
days.
calling.
Hey. Like that's my conscience. Oh my goodness.
Pues ahí tenemos Las Cafeteras con A Night in the Pantla. Hope you enjoyed the session. We're going to end it with a banger. Oaxaca Love Song number 2.
Banger. I don't even know her.
Hey, close your eyes, pretend you're in the 50s in Oaxaca, Mexico. Shoo! En Oaxaca todo brilla y se come con tortilla. Me derrito como queso por sentir solo un beso. Tu piel de chocolate como me bate y late.
Si Dios no me ayuda, redondita, tostadita.
Así te ves bonito, mamá. Tus ojitos cafecitos me los como a besitos. Sopute de tortilla con tomate nunca fría.
Si Dios no me ayuda, redondita, tostadita.
Así te ves bonito, mamá.
No me ayuda.
Así te ves bonito, mamá. Tu piel de chocolate como me bate y late. Lucharé como Benito por un taco de quesito.